Hello everyone and welcome to No Orientation Programming. I'm Joe and today today I'm tired, really tired. The server is running since the last streaming session. It's still doing something. Some bots seem to be connected. And I think everything should be fine. Let's try to start a game. Connect 4. So the server seems to be responsive and fine. That's cool. That's very cool. Okay. Let's try to connect with SSH. Add local host. Yes, fine. Okay. The last thing we have implemented is we are able to enter the gamer settings and we have a text box showing us our name. I want to add a label. Let's add a label. In paging, settings paging, yes. Message menu, yes, here we have the widget. So the label should begin here, I think. Name. Okay, let's check. Settings. Yes, that looks fine. Okay. Cool. Oh. I hope the coffee is working. Okay. At the moment we are able to change the name already, but for the current session, but we are not saving the gamer name. To the administration server. So let's try to check. Let's see what we need. Okay. The paging process is just the processor. How about the JSON processing? What do we have here? We have two pipes, arguments and result. Settings. I want to have a better communication between the gamer interacting process and the paging process. This means I want to have a JSON value. I pointed to a JSON value. Okay. Let's see if we can compile this. No, does not have. Yes. Gamer interacting, yes. Okay, that's fine, but... Oh, what was that? Oh, come on. So we need the same here in the gamer select pay in. Okay, it's not used. Interesting. Okay, it's compiling, fine. But here I don't want to. This is a pipe, pointed to a pipe. And the pipe is called I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. Looks strange. Come on. In the game interacting process, we have the settings, but yes, I want a pointer. Yes, that was the reason. I want a pointer. JSON value MP in and MP out. Nope. Brand was eine Whisper. How can I remove this thing? This message. Hey, what the hell? Okay, we have the settings and we want a pchild. MP in is equal to MP in. I'm not convinced that this is a good idea. Because gamer interacting should be. How can I delete this message? I can pin the message, I can reply. Show moderator. Oh, okay. Ben, yes. Yes, fine. Okay. MPs, no, M settings, okay. I want another value, another JSON value, which is called data. Data settings is equal to this. I don't know. I don't know. Home page, mp home page, mp in is equal to mdata. Settings. User authenticate. Use support. And the result paging, result paging. mp homepage, mp out is equal to I think it's fine. Ooh, I can remember that I wanted to do something. Yes, I think it was this. Hopefully. Yes. Okay. So we do not need the settings anymore. We just have an in and out. But for the settings paging, settings widgets. Yes, we do not have this thing, but we have mp in settings, I think. Hopefully. Let's check if this is working. It's compiling. Let's see if we get the segfault. No, fine. Can we change the name? Yes, fine, cool. The coolest thing here is now that we're not only able to send the settings, the game settings as argument for the paging process, but we can add stuff like this. We can struct. I don't want to have a struct here. We make a function called authentication ring and a bool account active. Name gamer, ID gamer. That's fine. So we have moved the setting structure into the data structure one level down, and on the same level to the settings we have the ID user and the account active flag. So this is fine. Mail user, at which point account active. This will be removed, and this thing is after the intro. Mail of the user. Do we have a mail of the user? Let's delete this thing. Data mail user is equal to data account active. String. Okay, so male user. That's fine. ID user. Erase. Data ID user. Hi, Banana Bear. I'm cleaning the code a little bit. MID user. This is a bool, that's fine. Account active. Mail user can be exchanged between the user authentication process and the onboarding process, that's fine. Let's try to compile this thing. This const thing. Okay. Name gamer, ID gamer, name, account active, and authentication ring. Oh, it's compiling. Let's see if it is crashing or not. We were able to connect. That's fine. That's quite cool. Let's try to. That's cool, yes. So the lobby already. Yes, would be cool. Just type telnet Nigolos testing USTO. I have remapped the port, so we do not need to set 4000. It's more convenient. You should be able to connect. Oh, damn this. Oh! What the hell? I can't enter the server. Why? What is going on? Telnet Nicholas testing USTO. You were not able to create. Okay. Cool. Okay, escape worked somehow. Ah, yes. I think I see what's going on. Pff. Let's check the if I create the lobby, let's see, we have, okay, I think the connect 4 thing is fine, but then if I connect with SSH, at localhost p4001, at least you are able to enter the system, kind of. But okay, you connected. The frame update is broken somehow, I think. Somehow it's broken. Now I'm a spectator. Now I'm a registered spectator. But the frame. The first one, I've moved the center column, but I think I needed to confirm it landed in the first column. Okay, something very strange is going on at the moment, I think, because I'm restructuring the code. It's in construction site mode. I think I have destroyed something. But now it seems to be fine. Somehow. But this is not correct. We have I should be in the lobby again. Telnet works. That's fine. Thank you. So I have to check. I see that something isn't right at all. Very strange. Okay, thanks for the test. Telnet. If I create a game, then I refresh, then I press enter and I'm in the game. It seems that your telnet is confusing the server. Is this possible? No. But it seems to be. Huh. I don't know. Okay. We have experienced something very strange. Okay. Whatever. Now I can't enter. Tic-tac-toe is not... tic-tac-toe is not implemented, yes. If you create tic-tac-toe, then... no. Okay, now... yes, I didn't look. Yes. Okay, that's expected behavior. Okay, now I'm fine. Did you create... before, did you... was this a tic-tac-toe as well? I didn't take a look. Yes, I didn't take a look at the tic-tac-toe at the type of the game. A tic-tac-toe has no lobby yet. If you create a tic-tac-toe game, then you should be stuck. You should be stuck in the frame. Yes, and the same goes if I join the tic-tac-toe game, then I see a lobby that is not updating the screen. So this is normal. Okay, this is not, it's not implemented. Okay. Phew. Okay, so it seems to be fine. Okay, so as you can see, we can change the name, the gamer name already, but not permanently. And this is the next step. I want to, this is an unregistered account. I'm connecting with SSH. If I connect with SSH, then the gaming server is asking for a password. I press test, and then I'm in the server, and the gaming server is talking to the administration server, and the administration server is responding with yes, there is a user with this name and this password, with the name of the user and the ring, and we want to update the account settings. And this is done in the settings page. If I press enter, yes. How should I implement this? I'm not sure. Should I make a save button? Should I communicate with the administration server after I have pressed enter? Should I implement a save button, or should I communicate with the administration server as soon as I press escape? I'm not sure. So we have three options. And we have another possible approach, that is, we can go into the settings, change the settings like whatever we want. As soon as I return I could set, maybe this is better. As soon as I change the gamer settings, I create an entry in the settings paging. I could create an entry that is called the pointer to the data, not to the output pointer. I could save an settings update request, and is this making things easier or not? The advantage would be to give the gamer interacting process the control over the TGSA to the communication to the administration server. But on the other hand, I don't want to have I think this is okay. I am surfing in the paging area. I am changing the stuff. If I change the name here, I want to be able to immediately escape the settings and check something else. So this would not be possible if the change of the settings, the user settings, is a process. The change of the user settings, as soon as I change the text here, I have this information in the game server immediately. in the game injecting process and in the settings paging process. Here we have the information immediately. So changing the information at this point is a function. It can be done immediately. But then at some point I should communicate with the administration server. The change has to be communicated with the administration server. And I don't want to force the user to wait until this communication is done. The user should be able to change the settings and go back immediately. Then we have an updated name. In the background, however, we should start a process that is communicating with the administration server. That means the paging area is communicating with the gamer interacting process. This process is consuming and processing any request that is created here. If we start a home paging process, this process is started as soon as we have pressed this key. If we press this key, then the home paging starts. We are starting the home paging, we are connecting the communication channels, the inter-process communication channels. And then we are going to GI paging, then wait this, and we are stuck in this state. But we are able to check stuff like this. Paging requests process. So any process that any requests that are created in the paging area could be processed. Meaning we could start stuff. That would be a possible behavior. Let's try to just let's keep it simple at the moment. Well, that's cool. Because we can change everything later on. That's the cool thing in this structure, that we can do bad stuff and then change it later. This is not a big deal. So let's just make the simplest solution. That is, in the settings paging, we are accepting the change, removing the focus of the widget, setting the local settings value. Okay, and then we go into the state menu. This should be user-friendly. It should be user-friendly. But what is user-friendly? We could process any request after we can process the requests during the home paging. This would be cool because I want to do this in the background. Do I want to do this in the background? The worst thing we can do is to freeze the user interface for the user. This is the worst thing we can do. That is going into another state, creating the process, and entering a wait state, not processing any key events. This is the worst thing we can do. Ah, yes, no, fine. I think this is it. No. That's not cool. We should not. That's a base. That's a very fundamental property. In this situation, we have this situation. We can change the information, the text information, immediately locally. But then we also have to communicate with the administration server. This communicating, this is a process. This may take some seconds. And the user is able to press escape. This means the lifetime of the communication process is longer than the lifetime of this paging process. The settings paging process. This means that we have two options. The first option is if we start this communication process in the settings page and we return, we would need to implement the shutdown function, waiting for a pending communicating process to end. But then the user would see that escaping the settings paging, sometimes it would not work. This means we have to process the communication process in the gamer interacting process, because this is no, actually, if it's all about lifetimes. If I change the name, I press escape, 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 and enter. This is a valid user input. Changing the name, pressing enter, escape, 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 and enter. So leaving the application immediately. Another example is we are able to enter the gaming settings, changing the name, pressing enter, and then immediately after that we press Ctrl C, exiting the application. We could argue that if you do something like this, changing the name and then cutting the connection to the application immediately, we could argue that in this case the name is not stored, but if we do something else, this is using the direct connection into the system core. Is this making a sense? We are not creating a communication process here, but we create an event that for this user we have changed the user settings, and then the system core, which has the longest lifetime, can process the request even if the user has cut the connection and ended the gamer interacting process. As soon as this request information this event has reached the core, then the information is changed. So we have multiple ways how we want this thing to behave. The most important thing is that the communication, if we start the communication to the administration server, this is the most important part. If we send the settings to the administration server, then we need to have an atomic behavior, that is, we have changed the complete settings, or we have not changed the complete settings, but it should not have an inconsistent state. Which process should be responsible for processing the requests? The communication process can extend the lifetime of this process, even of this process. If we are processing the request up to this point, then the user is able to abort the updating process. If we are processing the request in the core, then as soon as the user has pressed enter, then we will have a change. It's not changed immediately, but in the administration server, but it will be changed. I like the idea of processing this event in the core. Because I'm thinking later on we will have the communication between several gamer interacting processes, and this is and here we may have in the paging area we may have hi Sentinent. I like C++. But I'm only coding in a very old C++. I'm not doing modern C++. But I must say that we are very, very far already. This project has started in September, and a lot of stuff is working already. I'm very, very, very satisfied. We can connect to the server. We can create a game, and we can play. We can play a game, a multiplayer. We can register a user. We can connect with Telnet. We can connect with SSH. So a lot of stuff is working already. At the moment, I want to be able to change my username. I have a text box and I can change my name. I'm Nuba at the moment, and then I can change the name to Noob. But we have two applications. One application is the gaming server itself, and the other application is the administration server. The administration server is doing all the accounting stuff. And as soon as I change the gamer name, then I have this information in the game server immediately. But then I have to start a communication process. And this process may take some seconds to finish. And I don't want the user to be forced to wait for the outcome of the communication. Maybe this takes several seconds. I want to change the text and then want to leave immediately. As a user, I do not care about any communication between the internal system. And I think we should... Yes, I think I will make... Let's try just one approach. The first approach is to what we are doing. Here in the settings paging process, we change the text locally, and then we tell the message, the dispatching, the core process, that we want to update our settings. Let's see how this is working. If this is working at all. Okay, we have the message dispatching process, kind of the core process, and here we have gamer message process. This process is going through all the gamers, and then we are processing all the events. Let's print these events. I want to, yes. Oh, come on. Oh. I'm starting the server here below. Yes, come on. And up here I'm connecting SSH A at localhost P4001. Okay, test. Fine. So this is our interface, our user interface. And if I press R, then nothing is happening. That's fine. But if I press C, no, yes, C for create, and then press enter, and then yes. If I create a server, then I can see the server in the server list, telnet, localhost 4000. Oh, come on. Here I can see the server I have created. I'm connected with two accounts. The first one is an registered account. This is a guest account. This is with telnet, and this is with connected with SSH. And as you can see, the message dispatching process has received an event from this user. That is, we have that's here. We have received the event type is create a game. The game is called, the server is called test, as you can see here. Then the game type is connect4. Make a new connect4 gaming server. We have a gamer ID and a gamer name. That is the administrator of the server. Why do I have this strange view? I want to have not a fast writer, but come on. Style and shape writer, yes, I have to rename all the stuff. Fast writer, we call this JSON writer. That's fine. Game message interpret, frame dispatch. Yes, fine. And I want a styled writer. So now again, we create the game server. Test. This is the event. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes I'm very okay. Now it looks fine. Okay. So this is an event to the core, creating a game, and here we can create another event connecting, creating a game and connecting to a game. Okay. And now I want to the game interacting. Come on. We need another function here. That is called JSON value settings const reference. Can I use a reference? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this makes sense, but let's try out. Let's see. Okay. Return data settings. Can we compile this thing? Oh yes, it's working somehow. And I want to see something special. The gamer message interpret it is checking the type. If we have a type create, then fine. If we have type connect, then fine. If disconnect, okay. Type key is fine. At this point, and at this point we should we can say unknown event okay. Let's create an event in the settings paging process. Now it's interesting. We change our settings and then we create an event in game out message. Yes, we call this message, and this message has a type which is called settings update. Now it's interesting. Oh yes, a message, it's shadowing. No. Oh, come on. Yes, let's call it event. Core event. Admin event. Event admin. Okay. This event admin needs to be put into commit. Yes, commit message. Type. This should be working somehow. It is compiling at least. Okay, we enter the settings page. We change the text. We hit escape. We have changed nothing because escaping from the text widget means we do not change anything. But if I press enter, oh, unknown event, type settings update. Cool, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Now, that's cool. That's amazing. That's amazing, I think. Because now we can just we have the pointer to the gamer. We have the pointer to the gamer. That means we have access to the settings. And the gamer is telling us that he or she wants to update the settings. This means I have an gamer ID. What do we need for the administration process? We need data set. What do we need? Which arguments do we have? The ID of the user and the settings. So we have everything we need. That's cool. Okay, let's see. This means we create if type is equal to settings update. Then we create user onboarding, TGSA. Yes, we start an TGSA request. Okay. Let's just make an P request. Is equal to create. P request is equal to very important. Create. And then if not request. Could not create process, but this should not be the end of the core, of course. Let's just make a warning. Create TGSA request. Okay, but we want to start and then repel immediately. Start when finished repel. I hope this is a function. Yes. Okay. When finished repel, start P request. So we are starting the process and we are repelling it as soon as it has finished. fire and forget. This is a fire and forget scenario. Fire and forget. The core is trying to execute the communication to the administration server. But now we need something else. Onboarding process. We need this. The command is data setting. We need the ID of the user. We get this from pgamer ID gamer. And we need the settings, and we get these from settings. And then we start this request, and let's see. So now I want to show you the localhost, the process tree of the application, and we should see in the, a sub-process from the core, a child process from the core, SSH at localhost p 1001 test. We are connected. We have the filtering process, gamer interacting process is a secure connection. We have an SSH filtering process. We have started the game selecting process, and if as soon as I enter the paging area, we are closing the game selecting process and we are starting the home paging process. We are entering the settings paging, and then we change the text, and as soon as I press enter, we should see for a very short time, we should see another child. Oh, another guest has connected. Okay, let's see. TGSA process returned error. Unknown field, reason unknown field, ring user. Yes, okay, let's see. User authorizing. Okay. Yes, we got a command. Yes, and the command was, it's working already. Almost. We have the ID of the user, and we wanted to create a data setting. Ring of the user. Ring of the user. That's not intended. We should not. Ring user. Game interacting. At some point we get the settings. We get the settings after the user authorization process. Then we have the settings stored here. We got the settings are this thing does not belong to the settings. We cannot change the ring of the user. That's the problem. Here we have the problem. Authorizing the user should give us the result. If the account is active, verified, the ring of the user should be at this level and the settings that can be changed. Okay, let's see. Let's rethink this decision. Because I have to change quite some stuff. Ring user. We have to change. We are deriving the authentication ring from this string. User onboarding. Authentication ring description. User authorizing. Okay. Ring user. The settings are stored in the settings and the authentication ring is not in the settings but in the result, in the authentication result. As well as if the account is active. ID user, account active, ring user. Yes, okay. The same with in the user onboarding process, ring user. Oh, come on. Changing the structure is always painful. account active. And ID user, account active, ring description, authentication ring, and then settings. Okay, fine. That's cool. So the onboarding process as well as the authorizing process is fine. Now we have to change the documentation. JSON response. Ring of the user. Okay. Data JSON. Seg for fault core dumped. This is fixed already. Build. In the build directory we have why do we have 3 accounts already? Okay. Build native DJSA users were the first one. The second one. Now we have fixed this structure and now we have to hopefully everything is fine. In the user authorizing process, we have a ring user and this thing should be checked password verify. Yes. Okay. And in the account creating process, we have to ring user. Okay. Paging. Oh, now let's compile everything again. Okay. We connect. What is happening? Oh, this is a bot, I think. Ah, that's not fine. That's not cool. Why? Oh yes, oh yes. In the user authorizing process, in the result, user authorizing, we have to add in the result the ring of the user. This was packaged in. Yes, that's fine. Now we have another, we are supporter. Before that we were a guest. Yes, no, fine. Okay. And the result, the response of the authorizing process from the administration server was this thing. And now we have this in the settings. And now we should be able to update the settings. The administration server should now get a request, and this request should be visible as child from the core process. Yes, TGSA requesting has been created, and the response was success. This means now we should. This change is local, but now if we reconnect, we should have a new name. Oh yes. Let's do something else. Let's do something. Hopefully it's not crashing. I want to press enter and then disconnect the connection immediately. What is happening? Do we have a fresh name now or not? I have removed the A. Yes. It worked. If I change the name and disconnect immediately, then it's still working. Because disconnecting immediately means that at first we press enter. If we press enter, then the settings paging process is committing an event. It's committing an event. And this event then lies in the JSON pipe of the gamer interacting process in here. And the message dispatching the core process is always flushing the event pipe and then checking if the gamer has disconnected. This means the event is processed in every case. We do not have to fear that the process has vanished somehow, but we have a controlled behavior. The message dispatching process has the responsibility to process all the events and then make a secure but fast shutdown of a user process. If the user wants to disconnect, then we should disconnect as fast as possible because we want to be responsive. But it should not mean that we are exposed. The server should not be exposed to some shady and unstable situation, but it's just collecting all the events and then it's shutting down the process. And that's cool. The core doesn't care if this process, the TGSA, the requesting process, it can just create the child and can forget the child process. That's cool. So we are able to change the name. Yes, fine. So now I change the name again. Nothing is happening if I press escape, but if I type in Nagelus, enter, then I am Nagelus again if I reconnect. So the information is stored onto the disk in any case. As soon as the user presses enter in the text box, we have a change. We will have a change in the future. Oh, that's cool. That's amazing. It's cool. Okay, let's try to connect again. SSH a at localhost. This should not be possible. Yes. We are in, this will have a own frame. This is not implemented yet, but we are not able to enter the system because we are logged in already. So we have a frame that will tell us that we are logged in already with this account. Paging process, the paging process, yes, fine. So, and this code is quite clean and small. We are just telling the system that we want to update our set. Ooh, Reinventor. Hi. Thanks for the raid. Oh, soll ich Deutsch sprechen? Should I switch to German or is it okay to say talk in English? Usually I'm doing the stream in English, but I can switch to German if it's better. Hi Alligator. Hi Reinventor. Danke für den Raid nochmal. I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. English is fine. Oh, cool, cool. Thank you. How was your stream? What did you do? It has been some while since I've seen your the last stream of you. You were coding in Rust, I think. But I think you have then Pokemon Tool with Rust. Pokemon Tool with Rust. Oh, and how is it going? You're still into Rust. I'm amazed. It's so amazing. I do not understand anything in Rust. It's so strange for me. You're fighting. Yeah, well, you are a warrior. Rust is a completely different world for me. I don't get any concept. I am coding on. Oh, we can play a game. We can play together. If some of you has Telnet, then you can connect to our gaming server. Nagelus testing. If you have Telnet, it's not sharing any sensitive information, so it's secure. Because it's secure in this case because it's not asking you for any credentials, so don't worry. And you should see this interface. And if I press C for create, then I can move around with J and K, and I have created a lobby, a Connect 4 lobby. You should be able to see this lobby if you connect Nigelus testing USTO. Oh, people are joining. We have 3 guests. You should be able to see this. Oh, cool. And now we need to assign the teams. If you press 1, then you are in team 1. If you have a 0, then you are a spectator. And oh, I will spectate and you can play. everything except 1 is team 2. So try to play against each other. I press enter and then you should see the board. And you can move around with H and L. I have to implement with H and L, the Vim commands, and of course I will implement the support for the arrow keys, but this was a request from Gurus Gaia, and I have to implement this, but that's cool. I'm watching you playing. That's fine. I don't know who is playing against each other, because if you're connecting as a guest, then you get a random name assigned. That's symmetric. Cool. Okay. So this O is reinventor of will. That's so cool. I'm quite happy with the server already, I must confess. Oh, Lazy Invader, hi. You're X. Interesting battle. That's cool. That's so amazing. I have to make a screenshot. Oh, I don't know what is happening if I make a screenshot. Oh, that's so cool. That's so fancy. That's so fancy. Cool. That's a long game. Usually when I play, I'm losing quite fast because I'm into the code and I'm not concentrated for some gaming stuff. Or I'm just dumb. Oh. Oh. That was important. This looks like a draw at the moment. Oh. Cool, Reinventor has won. Nice, GG. Very good game. That's oh, I missed the screenshot, the last screenshot, and that's the overall process. So you are always landing in the lobby, and then you can play, and then as soon as it's finished, then you're in the lobby again, and you can play as often as you want. And in the future we will. Thanks, Reinventor. In the future we will have. I want to implement a rogue-like game. I don't know if you know Rogue. It's like a dungeon game, a terminal dungeon game, and I want to make a multiplayer dungeon game, so multiple people can fight against zombies or stuff like that, and collect items. And so Rogue looked like this game. It looked like this, and you can move around, and then you will be able to move around as a team, and then you can fight some stuff. That's the that's the goal. And yes, and at the moment I'm working on the settings page. If you have an account, you can create an account. This means if you're using Telnet, then you're a guest, and if you're using SSH for playtesting, you can play every time that the server is online at this URL. The Rogue game, the Rogue game is not even started yet. At the moment we just have, so this is a quite fresh project. The project started in September, and at the moment these two, the dummy and the tic-tac-toe, release date on Steam, not Stream. This will take a while, I think. I want to implement multiple games, so you for every server you will be able to choose which type of game you want to play. At the moment only this is working. If you are creating this or this, then you will have a kind of frozen view. This will look strange for you. I have to remove these two entries. It's still in construction and complete. It's not even alpha state. It's the immediate a complete development branch. And yes, I want to add stuff in every stream, and then we should after every stream we should have a working system. And yes, it's quite funny. This project is very funny. It's very cool, and I'm testing a new structure I'm using, which is in which we have a lot of processes, and it's working quite fine already. It's really cool. I'm very happy with it. It's easy to code, and we have 19,000 lines of code already. So it's middle-sized. The accounting stuff took a lot of time because I had to implement an SSH server which is encrypting the communication. This took quite some time, and essentially there are two applications that are communicating with each other. We have the gaming server, in which you can to which you can connect and use. The gaming server is showing you the interface, and the gaming server is communicating with the administration server, and the administration server is doing all the account management stuff, creating the account files on the file system, like which look like this. If we have a user, then a directory is created, and we have a JSON, a data JSON, and we have a settings and the name of a user and stuff. So this the accounting management stuff took quite some time, and now we are able. And the reason why I had to do to implement this first, because as you can see, thanks for the follow, Lazy. As you can see, this lobby is a complete minimalistic version of a lobby. It's completely minimalistic, but I want to create a big and cool lobby in which people can chat and can make settings for the game. Like if you have this dungeon game, you will be able to select how hard it is, how big it is. For the Connect 4 game, I want to be able to select the difficulty of the computer opponent. So the lobby will be able to change settings or create settings, and then it's quite cool. It's quite cool. I like C++. It's so easy. It's so easy. It's just typing the stuff in. It's not fancy. I'm coding in very old C++. I'm not doing the modern stuff. The modern stuff is confusing me. I'm always using just the regular stuff from C++ version 1. Oh no. I will watch your stream if I want to see Rust. It's very interesting. I liked to watch you coding Rust. It's very interesting. But it's too hard for me. Yeah, we can struggle together. No, I don't want to struggle anymore. I don't have the energy anymore to struggle. It's. I bought 2 books. I bought 2 Rust books, and I opened the book, and then I closed it, and now it's lying in the corner. I closed it immediately. It was so strange. The first thing that made me completely raging was like it was like the strange thing that if you have a function and you don't have a semicolon at the end, then it's the return value, I think. This is so strange, and as I don't know anything about Rust, but I think if you have a variable only on last line, okay, that means I guess the last. That's a great feature in your opinion. Yes, maybe if you get used to it, maybe not that bad. You don't need return and semicolon on last line. What does last line mean? The last line of a block? Is it possible? I can do something like this, I guess. This is the last line. Then this is the return value. But is it possible to do something like if something, then only of a function? What if I am doing something like this? Is this a last line? But or only this? Only the last line of a function? But you that's optional. You don't have to do it like that. I think you can use return. And something was very strange for me. If you have a variable, I think it's called like let and then mute something. I don't. It's pseudocode. It's not Rust. But that's if you have a function A. If I want to change mutable, but I think the variable is not existing after this function because the function takes over the ownership, I think. Did I understand this right? I'm talking complete bullshit because I don't know anything about Rust, but I will see in your code next time. You move it into the function, so if the function is done, it will remove everything. Yes. Yes, and that's that's hurting my brain. I'm very curious in your about your next stream. I will follow your. I'm watching a stream. It's very interesting. I think it's similar to RRII. Maybe, yes, maybe. Yeah, it has the language has interesting concepts, but if you're using C, Java and Python and stuff, it's quite the same, but the difference between C, and Rust is quite big, I think. It's completely new. The concept is so new. It's fundamentally different. The motivation is quite cool, I think. I like the motivation. Tell us your best the best Vim tricks. I'm just moving around. I don't do anything in Vim. I'm not the hardcore Vim user. I like Vim, but I like the setup in which I can switch through all my tabs very quickly. The movement of the tabs is Vim-like, and then the navigation in the text is also Vim-like. But I don't think I have a special Vim Vim trick. Last day I have found out a new movement, and that is jumping. Do you use buffers a lot? No, I'm not. Not at all. I'm not using buffers. I'm only using tabs, and recently I got used to make terminal dividers, sub windows in the terminal. So I'm using this, but I'm not using the buffers. I think a buffer is the division in Vim itself, I think. I always compile Vim because I want to have a certain feature. And this feature is I want to be able to copy text into Vim from the X environment. So I have to compile Vim. I want to have this support, X11 support. If you have compiled this support, then you can copy stuff from the clipboard into Vim. This is not possible with vanilla Vim, because if you install Vim and you have the vanilla Vim, then it does not have this support, because they want to avoid the dependency. Yes, I think I'm using Wayland as well. How can I check if I'm using Wayland? The X session type variable, I think it is. No, it's X11. Okay, no, I'm not using Wayland. Okay. Strange. Okay, no, I'm not using Wayland. Oh, yes, I'm using, at this machine, I'm using Debian, and I think I'm switching to Ubuntu. This is Debian in the testing environment. I'm experimenting around a little bit, choosing the right distribution for me. Debian is, yes, I've used it several years now, but I want to try out Ubuntu a little bit. One of the first distributions I used was Arch, and it was quite cool. Yes. No. You will never see a Rust session in this channel. Never. I'm not a masochist. Not at this level, at least. So this is Rust is this. The next generation can learn Rust, but I'm out. I'm completely out. I managed to avoid Java up to now, and I will try to avoid Rust. There are so many Rust users already. It's and I'm always like, what the hell are they doing? I don't get anything. It's so different. I'm only able to use this C++ structure because it's always the same. I always have the same function, and I always have a switch statement, and that's all. Nothing else. Everything I do is just a function and a switch. And I'm fine with that. I don't need anything else. So I'm really happy with the structure. Yes. Yeah, cool. I was tidying up the code a little bit. That's the only thing I can remember. My memory is very poor already because I'm very old, so I can only remember one function, one switch. That's all. And this is the I'm 36, I think. 36 or 24. 0x24. You can teach me in your next stream. When do you stream the next time? When is your next stream? But you have tomorrow 18. Tomorrow 18. Yes, that's fine. 18 tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday, yeah? Should be possible. I will code a little bit and will watch your stream. I don't think you will bring Rust closer to me, I think. But you will get home. Oh, no. No, it's not working like that. I will no homework. I'm completely destroyed from the university. I can't see any homework anymore. Rust special stream. No, I think I will miss your class then. Timed receiving transactions. Okay, yes. That's normal. So I have finished something today. We are able to change our name. The cool thing is if I change my name and press enter and then I disconnect immediately, errors are normal in C++, not in Rust, just saying. I must say that with this structure I don't have any errors almost. It's so easy to code in this structure. I don't have any runtime errors. One thing we have tested today is if we change the name. I have just implemented the most basic version. If I press enter and then disconnect immediately, then the system is stable because we always have the control over everything. You can try to brick the server, but it's quite stable, I think. The only thing that is bad at the moment, because we have a lot of if the user accounts can be created with it's not with SSH you can create the user, but only the guest access is free. So it's actually a user account is paid. That means if you have if you connect to localhost and as user you set create, then this is a command to create the user account, and then you can make an account, then you get an email with a verification code, and then you have created the account, but the account must be activated by a small contribution. So actually this account is paid, and as a guest you can just connect and play whatever every game you want. But I chose to do it like that because I need a registered account for the if people want to communicate in the chat, then I cannot allow guests to write something in the chat because of bots and stuff. So I need an account registration, and then I have to do all the bad work storing all the data. So but essentially you can create an account with this command over SSH. If you're using SSH, then everything is encrypted, of course. Everything you type in is encrypted, and if you're entering the email, the email is not stored on the system. It's only stored in a hashed version. So I don't want to keep any personal. I don't want to store any personal data. Everything is hashed. The password is hashed, and the user ID, the email is hashed. So I don't have any information as soon as a user has registered. And if I have to open the port, then you let's see. If I add something in TGS SSH port forwarding, which port does SSH has? SSH secure shell 22 and mapped to 4001. Enable. Let's see if this is breaking the stream. 22. Let's see if this is working. Create at. Oh yes. If you're connecting for the first time, then the server, the SSH server, is authenticating itself, and this is the fingerprint. And then you have to tell the SSH client that you are trusting this host. And if you press yes, then you're getting the account creation frame. Then you can press enter and enter an email and stuff. Then you get a verification account, but the verification code is disabled at the moment because it's working, but mail sending, we have a mail sending process, and this mail sending process is deactivated, I think. Account creating. Somehow I have deactivated the mail sending because at the moment I'm developing. I always have the same verification code. It's generated. It's a random number that is generated, and I have disabled the mail because I don't want to get an email all the time I'm registering. I'm testing the server. We are still in the development phase, but everything is working quite stable. But I just have to test every single step again and again, and I'm just coding and all the processes. A lot of processes are not finished yet. Mail sending configure. This should be it. Start. I don't know if this thing is sending an email. Let's try it out. Thunder. Okay, let's try to office at do not match. Oh yes, they do not match. I should have received an email. No, actually it's deactivated. It's deactivated, but I don't know at which line I have deactivated this thing. This is the static user code, and how did I deactivate this thing? Mail sending start. Could not create a mail sending. No. No. I know. I have deactivated this thing in the mail process itself, I think. Yes, here. As soon as I enter the process, I'm returning positive. So I have to restart the server. Now I should have received an email, theoretically. I think. Oh, is the stream disabled? And oh, it's live. It's live. Okay, cool. Yes, interesting. The chat is sometimes it's broken. Yes, this is the process structure of the administration server. As soon as I create an account, then the command processor is creating the mail sending process, and then let's I can open the process tree of the administration server here, and then we should be able to see SSH create at Nagelus testing. We should see a mail sending process somewhere. No. Yes, of course. That's the reason is because I have created this account already. And if you try to register account that is existing already, then it's not doing anything. but it's not this. Oh, yes, it's not this, and it's this one. Now I should be able to get an email. I've deleted the account. And it's not telling me that that the account is existing because of security reasons. Yes, it's doing something at least. Timeout receiving command. Yeah, it's quite cool. It's quite cool. I'm really happy. So the server should say supporter account verified false. We have a code. Yes, and I got an email. I got an email already. I can show you this. Yes. As you can see, we have got an email from the system. DGS administration account verification. Dear gamer, this message to verify your account, enter the following code. And then we have this code, and we can enter this code theoretically. Yes, password. We set the password that is test. Then we have to press test again, and then we have to enter the verification code. And then we are registered. And now we can log in, SSH, office at dsp account. Come on. Office. Let's see if this is working. .com at Nagelus testing. And the password is test. And now we are in the system. And now we can change the name to you're in? Yes, we are in the system, and as you can see, we are able to change our name. So we are able to create an account structure, and that's it. Yes. This is not working because my default user is not in the sudo list. I have to switch to the root user to delete my root directory. Because if your user is in the sudo list, then you have to be very careful. Yeah. You have to be very careful, because if you're using sudo less, I think you are able to make a jailbreak. You can switch to a root console, I think. So I'm a little bit cautious. So yes, that's everything we can do at the moment. Account creating, and everything is a process, and everything is from the structure is the same at every level of the system. No matter in which area you are, you always have the same structure, which is you have a process function, and this process function is doing something, and you can start multiple processes which are running in at least pseudo-parallel. And if you're starting a new thread, then the processes are running in a multi-threaded environment. For example, if I decide to I don't know, if I decide to start the gamer interacting process in a new thread, then we should be able to only do this thing. Create, if we are creating a gamer interacting process, then a new thread should be created by driven by new internal driver. This is the flag for a new thread, and I think if we connect see, now we have a different coloring. That means here we have a new thread and everything else is running in the new thread. Everything that is green is running in the main thread, and hopefully nothing is crashing. I didn't log anything, so it may be crashing at this, because I didn't consider putting this process in a new thread. But as it seems to be fine at the moment. As you can see, that's cool. That's cool. Here we can see that the gamer interacting processes are running in a new thread every time, but the server process we have created is running in the main thread still, because the message dispatching process is not creating a new thread for a new server. It seems to be not crashing. That's cool. And now we have a multi-threaded application. The arrow keys are not working. I have to implement the arrow keys next. Now this is just a small change. It's working quite fine. Not here. Come on. Ooh. Pfui. That was easy. So, but it's working. It's flawlessly. Let's try to let's try to change it in the opposite way. Let's keep this thing in the main thread. Green means main thread. Blue means a new thread. And this new thread is driving the entire subtree of processes. So this thing is white because it's running in the thread of the parent process, and this is white as well because it's also running in the new thread. And if I switch, then we have another game. Yes. If you are selecting tic-tac-toe is not implemented yet. If you're creating a game with type tic-tac-toe, then you can go out from the game with escape. It's not freezing, it's just, it looks like it's freezing because, and dummy, I think dummy is the same as Connect 4, because the dummy game will use the new lobby process. I'm always I want to add the new lobby in a new game. The old game is using the old lobby process. You can play it at any instant of time. And beside that, I want to develop the new lobby in a different game. So we can develop the server, and at the same time we are still able to play the games. And this is the reason why it's called dummy. Dummy is the testing branch, kind of. I want to see if I can change the threads. Gamer interacting process used a new thread, and TCP listening. Gaming create a new gaming process. If we are starting a new gaming process in a new thread, let's see if this is working. If I connect, then I am in the main process, and let's try to, dummy gaming, yes, somebody created a dummy gaming, and the dummy gaming is in a new thread, yes. Seems to be working somehow. Yes, still working. And I can create as many processes as I want, and I can always choose if I want to create a new thread or not. It makes no difference for me if it's in a new thread or not. That's quite cool, I think. I'm only using new threads, of course, if I have some calculation to do, which would be faster running on two processors. But with this network communication stuff, I only need one thread because I'm just processing packets, small packets that arrive in a distant future all the time. So I'm only using one thread at the moment. But later on, if I have performance issues, then I can use multiple threads, and I will add a thread pool, I think. A process which is starting multiple sub-processes, and every process will run in a new thread, and this process will get the workload later on. But the cheap version is to just add this flag, then you have a complete new tree which is running in a new thread. So quite cool, I think. And it's quite reliable, I think. Okay. So we have done a lot of stuff today. I think in the next stream I will start to implement the new lobby process, and the new lobby process should This is a good question. The goal is I want to reach 1 to 2,000 connections. This would be fine. 2,000 connections at least. And the cool thing with this structure is, what I like the most is, if you are the refactoring of the project is completely easy, because everything has the same structure, and if I see a bottleneck, then I can move the code from one process to another, because it has the same structure all the time. And that's one of the best features of this structure. It's a recursive structure, and if I want to refactor something because I have a bottleneck, it's at some point I will have a bottleneck, because I'm just coding, and then I want to see at which point it's stopping, and then I will change the structure a little bit, and then hopefully I can get more performance and then more performance, but only step by step. I want to reach the dead end all the time. I'm intentionally coding. Sometimes I'm coding dirty, because I want to create situations in which I can test the structure, if it's really that easy to restructure, to refactor. This is a feature for me in this structure, to be able to make an easy refactoring. And yeah, that's the goal. One or a couple of thousands of connections. I think every application in Linux is allowed to create a certain amount of file handles, and these file handles, you have a kernel setting, a maximum kernel limit. If you want more than that, then you have to recompile the kernel, I think, and you can, below that maximum, you can set this in the proc system. Yes, here. You're a Linux expert. Oh, what? File max? No, this is the file size. Oh, isn't it? Proc sys fs. File max, what's file max? But a file max is not the number of maximum. I think it's ulimit. The number maximum of open files is 1024, I think. It can't be this big, I think. Is it? File max and file number. The value in file number denotes the maximum number of file handles that the Linux kernel will allocate. What? For real? Okay, so but this is the limitation for the applications, I think. Is it? So this is the limit for the Linux kernel itself, and this is the limit that is configured, I think. File number. the number of allocated but unused file handles and the maximum number of file handles. Oh my god, that's a lot. This is the number of current file handles. 19,000. Really? Okay, I didn't know that. And the maximum file 40,000 open file handles. Come on. Okay, that's completely crazy. Okay, so I don't have to. Oh, that's a good. Thank you, the inventor. This is kind of a good message for me. Good news. That's good news. So I don't have to recompile the kernel. But I have like one open tabs and applications. Everything is a file, so we need a lot of file handles. Yes. Yeah. Yes, you're right. Boah, that's okay. That's so then we have we will definitely have a different bottleneck. I think U limit. I want to see this U limit. I think this is the limitation for the applications. I think every application can have a limited amount application-wise. For individual users. Okay, that's the number for the user. I think there is a limit for shell and subprocesses. Yeah, maybe. Okay, but that's cool. So we have to consider two constraints, I think. The first one is if I make yes, there I think you're right. There are two limits, the hard and the soft limit. And if you create a socket, I'm creating a socket all the time with the TCP transferring process. Here the socket is created. And as you can see here too, we have the process function, and then we have our switch at every level, no matter if we are TCP making a TCP communication, encryption, high level user interface, everything is always in a process function and in the switch. The cool thing about this recursive structure is that it is avoiding the state explosion problem. So we always have a kind of small state machine at every stage. That's another cool feature. And if we create a socket, then we have a default socket buffer size. And this is quite big. Yes, 200 kilobytes, I think. And I want to, we can change this. I think this is one of the, if we have 1000 connections, then we have 200 kilobytes times 1000, that's 200 megabytes. It's way too much. So we have to set a socket option, reducing this number to approximately 2 kilobytes, because 2 kilobytes is needed for the SSH connection. if we connect to this server with SSH, and then at Nagelus testing usto, and as you can see, if you connect with SSH, then we have some messages that are quite big. That is the key exchange. This is quite a big message because we have to announce all the algorithms, encryption algorithms and stuff. In fact, we are receiving a big list of algorithms. This is the client, and our server is telling, of course I have implemented just the subset of algorithms. I'm just using AES CTR, and I'm not supporting all these algorithms which are supported in the OpenSSL client. But we are sending 200 bytes and we are receiving 1500 bytes, and at sometimes the keys during communication, sometimes you have a key re-exchange, and then we have to be able to get this big chunk of data into our buffer. So this is the lower limit, but it's kind of okay, because if we have 2 kilobytes of buffer per connection for secure connections, the telnet connection will have a much lower buffer. So every guest will just have a little buffer in the system, but all the registered accounts will have a 2 kilobyte buffer in the Linux kernel. I'm talking about the buffer in the Linux kernel in the socket. If we have 1000 connections, then we have 2 megabytes of buffer alone for the connection, and the frames will have this visualization has 1 kilobyte approximately, so every user has another 1 kilobyte of visualization buffer, so it's approximately 3 kilobytes or 4, let's be it 4, then we have 4 megabytes for 1000 users. And the buffers of the processes, for example the SSH buffers, are very small, that are 7 bytes big, and so we don't have additional memory consumption here that much. It's only 7 bytes, and for 1000 users we have 7 kilobytes of processing buffer. Yes, that's it. That's the project. And so we have reached the end of the stream for today's stream. Thanks. I'm quite happy. I'm really happy with the project. It's going quite smoothly at the moment. Let's see how big we can make it. I want to reach a point in which everything is crashing. I want to code as fast as possible into the project, and I want to reach a point in which everything is exploding and breaking and crashing, because we have reached a big ball of mud. Let's see if we can reach that point. Boom. Yes, so let's see who we can raid for today. Maybe Guru Sky is online on Twitch. Oh, the Brutzel. Oh, a lot of KitKat. Irish John Games, the Brutzler. What is the Brutzler? Ah, Ate is making a cool game. He is making a game that looks like this. It's an first-person Doom-like thing. Let's rate Ate Bierklaus. He's a cool guy. So thanks for watching. See you tomorrow at 6 p.m. I'm quite curious to see a Rust session, and so let's go. Yeah. Thanks for raiding, Reinventor. Raid. No, I'm in the wrong chat. I'm still a streaming noob. Ai. Arte Bierklaus. Yes, so let's raid Arte Bierklaus, guys, and see you next time in 2 days. Bye, thank you.